Welcome to That Davis Show. My name is Kenneth Davis. Follow me on all social media platforms at That's Davis. I'm always fortunate enough to be joined by executive producer of anything that I do basically on this side, and that is Ryan Bukoveski. Follow him at Ryan B. Ski and Ryan B. Ski 1 on Instagram, even though he doesn't use it. So I don't even know why you're going to follow him. I think I do stuff, or now I know he's not going to see it because he's not on social media, as my partner. It makes total sense. So anyway.
We'll get there, baby. We'll get there. The guilting's working.
It's 2022. It's like we're back when cars start flying. He's finally going to be on social media full blow.
Hey, that's a good one. You know when they say when pigs fly, when cars fly. That's what I'll get on social media.
When cars fly. On this episode, I want to talk about a show that I think I may be falling for. And it's funny because it came in a rush this past weekend. But before we jump into that, I want to talk about being emotional. Sometimes I can't control my emotions in a positive way and a negative way. Like that's kind of why I try to stay even keeled, because when I'm angry, I can be irrational. But also sometimes, and especially like it happened after my dad died, sometimes I can't control my emotions when it's happy or like during movies, right? So today, I'm on Stony Island. I have the kids in the car. Kelsey's asleep, and I'm going through the stations, and I land on one of my old favorite songs, and this is the song that introduced me to this group. So it was "Yellow" by Coldplay, right? And the thing was, when Ashley and I when we first started dating, this was like when we first got together. Not even dating, we first were boyfriend girlfriend. This was like one of my songs, so it became one of her songs, right? So now, and I've been like, because at the beginning of this year, I said that if I was going to make any New Year's resolution, which I don't do resolutions, but my goal was to be a better family member to them, right? After the kids, right? So I've been being better. Like I've actually, I had to make sure I put it up in the front of my mind, so that I'm cognizant to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you think you're doing it, but you're not. You have to, after repetition, and keep doing it, right? I'm not saying I've been bad, but I can grow. So because of this, and we're in a good spot right now because of this, and I'm thinking back to how long we've been together, and I'm driving and I'm really singing, look at the stars, how they shine for you. So look, and I mean, I can see him walking on the beach now, right? Like I remember seeing this video and I was like, man, I love this song. That, and it came out the same around time as Nelly Furtado's I'm Like a Bird, right? But anyway, that's another subject. So, dude, I have to admit, now Kenton's not paying attention, but all of a sudden I start rolling. Now I'm in the front seat, so I'm doing this, right? You know, right? Something, I believe myself. It's just like the song. I'm like, oh my God, it's the song. Oh, she's such a wonderful woman, right?
I'm so lucky.
Exactly, right. So that's one part. So then when we get home, and so he not paying me no mind. So it's drizzling here in Chicago. Ryan's in Vegas for everybody that doesn't know. I start thinking about the dramatics in the rain. All right, if you know, I want to go outside. I want to go outside. Like that song, right? Because I'm like, oh, let me step out into the rain. He won't know if anything's on my. I didn't care. I mean, he's my son. I love him to death. So then this is the thing. So I'm waiting on Ryan, and I said, because I have this JB, this thing. No one's paying me for this. This thing rocks, right? One, it holds a charge for 3 months if you don't use it.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like I charged this up maybe a month and a half ago. Dog, it's on full. If I turned it on right now, it's still on full, right? But I underutilize.
JBL, get on that sponsorship.
Right. I'm happy sometimes after to use it because I don't use it enough. Like I buy gadgets and I don't utilize them because part of me just doesn't think properly. All right. So I'm going through. So I was like, let me play these old songs because I'm like, I want to play in the rain. And then I was playing with Kelsey and Charlie Hutch song going, which anybody, I Choose You, which was used by by 3 6 Mafia for Project Pat songs, and then again for Bun B and UGK with Outkast in, you know what I'm saying, International Players Anthem, right? That I choose you. That's like the old original song. Anyway, and I'm tired of singing Sound Horrible. So
it sounds beautiful, baby.
I'm going through my Quiet Storm playlist because I have to find like, where am I dropping this? I know I got a playlist for it. I'm like, it's Quiet Storm because that's back in the days the kids needed a Quiet Storm. Late at night, we would hear the songs from when we were kids and also from the 60s and 70s and 80s, right? So you would know all this old R&B basically. So it was a part of your experience, not just your parents, outside of if you heard it from your parents playing it. So I'm going through, and this is a group named Switch, who had two of the older brothers from the group DeBarge and Switch, right? I think it was made. I don't know if it's Eddie DeBarge. I can't forget his older brother that was on drugs. That's basically what that DeBarge movie is about. The brother that's in Switch, all right, the lead singer. So anyway, I was like, wait, I don't have DeBarge. So DeBarge has this song called "Time Will Tell." Now I knew this was gonna happen. I'm waiting around. It's 5:30. I said, all right, I'm gonna put "Time Will Tell" on, right? And I said, you know, you mess around, you're gonna get emotional, listen to the song, and Ryan pop up in this StreamYard window, and your eyes are glossy. So
screenshot.
Time will tell. Everybody go listen to it if you did. It's about a man's love for a woman. But at the time when Kenton was born, when Kenton was coming, you know what I'm saying, as far as he was inside of Afton or whatever, I was listening to a lot of DeBarge and Switch at the time, right? So Time Will Tell actually, for me, is Kenton's song because it's like I'm singing it to a baby rather than taking it to a love. You know what I'm saying? Which my baby's my love, that's not lover. But, you know, so I was sitting there and I texted him. I sent it to him because I was like, and I put it in quotation marks. I was like, this is my Kenton song. And I was like, I have to turn it off because I'm getting emotional, right? Because then at first I was straight and I'm singing and I'm like, then I started thinking about the night he was born or when he was on his way after his water broke. And I'm just going through all of these emotions, right? Because it's good to have emotions and it's good to. I used to be numb from being a kid that grew up in the inner city of Chicago. My younger brother actually helped me with that from him loving me to kind of get out of PTSD and shell shock. You know what I'm saying? You develop a hard skin growing up in the city. You know what I'm saying? And my younger brother, he really helped me with that, right? So sometimes now it's hard for me to control my emotions, right? So I come out of that, and now I'm coming here into the topic of today, and I sent this to Ryan, and it's one of the topics for the show, and I was like, I may fuck with Bridgerton, right? You know, the Netflix series on season 2.
By the way, I love this line that has led us to this point. All these various twists and turns, emotional roller coaster, if you will.
Emotional, right? Emotional roller coaster. And I mean, Bridgerton isn't, so far this season, it's not this type of emotion that it brings in me. It's an interesting show.
Are you kidding me with this guy? There's no way there's not emotion.
He's a really good actor. He's a really good actor, I must admit. And I saw a little bit of last season.
Look at this emotion, baby.
He's really good. I'm happy this is around. Now, see, so the main character last year who was the Diamond is who is the young lady when it's courting season that the queen chooses to be the one that all the men should want to marry, right? So his sister was the Diamond last year, and she married Reggae Jean, all right, who I'm a heterosexual male, but homeboy is easy on the eyes, all right? And so Reggae Jean left and didn't want to come back. And like me afterwards discussing it, she was like, he should be back. But one, I don't even feel like I don't feel like he should be there because he wouldn't be a center character because he's married now. Because it's kind of about the couple or whatever is going around the couple that's going to get married, or someone's going to get married to someone else and they're in love with someone else, right? That's kind of what this whole thing is kind of about. And I may not know. I'm just giving you my opinion. All right,
man. To be fair, you are making me intrigued. Like my love for crappy reality TV love shows. This is like playing with this right here.
Listen, and so all through it when I'm watching, every so often I say, when someone burns for someone, just for recognition. If someone says
my loins are burning for you,
right? You'd be like, this mug really loved me, right? Like if you've ever had someone. Maybe you weren't there yet, and they really, espoused their love for you, and you was like, well, damn.
No, sadly, I don't get people to profess their love to me. so I've yet to experience that.
Come on now, dude. I know the highlights. I know the highlights are fading, but come on now.
That was the first thing D said. Where's the highlights?
So anyway, this season, this season, it's about a young lady from India, Bombay, and she's there to get her sister married. And now back in this time frame, this is like I'm thinking, let me think. This is the 1800s, I believe. Back in this time frame, if you're like, she's 20, so she's looked at as being old and not married, and she's happy, or she says she's fine. What word am I trying to look for? When she's content. She's content, meaning that I'm okay with it, but do you really want it, right? Content with not getting married.
I would take some love if it came up to the front door. But
and then all of the histrionics ensues over that, right? I don't want to reveal too much of it to you. But so anyway, I watched it this weekend with Afton. Was it this weekend or last weekend? It might have been last weekend, actually, past weekend. And we were sitting there and we were sitting up, and I usually don't watch TV in the bedroom, you know what I'm saying? But it was on and I want to lay down for a second. So I started watching it. And then I was like, stop talking. Put another one on, right? Play the next episode, right?
Ooh,
and I was about to look, I'll run through them. I was like, let's just watch them. She was like, we're gonna run through them. I was like, all right, now we watched maybe one since, right? But we'll get back to it. But I think again, I kind of like the show, right? And it's like it's not really up my lane as far as the things that I care for that I watch, even though I'm trying to get back to when I was young. When I was younger, I watched anything, right? Then I started getting finicky, and it had to be with some action. It had to be some history, you know, like
a certain kind of premise overall.
Yeah, it just I you know. So now I tell myself like you have to expand your palate to the taste you used to have, because you used to know a lot, you used to speak better because I was well read when I was a kid. So I have my vocabulary as a kid was way more vast than what it is now. Because I used it, right?
Uh-oh, he's getting emotional again, everybody. Watch out.
Oh, that's still the cold. That's still the cold. But anyway, so you asked a question prior to this about what was the questions you asked? Let me ask you to ask the question.
So I have heard of Bridgerton, have not dabbled, haven't even really looked into it, but the actor you mentioned, I'm blanking on his name, Mr. McSteamy of Mr. McSteamy of that one, and he left the show, and it was a big controversy kind of thing.
Real quick, let me say this. He left the show. Me and after argued, she was like, he should be on the show. I was like, they weren't paying him nothing. They offered him to do like 3 to 4 episodes, and they was gonna pay him like $53,000. I'm sorry for everybody, when you're acting and you're the runaway star, that's pennies. Remember the cast of Friends held out for $1 million per? And that was in the 90s? All right, so you're telling me with all that Netflix coin that my man can only get half $100,000? Nah, son, you got to pay my man his bread. I told him, I was like,
I'm glad you put that context.
I told her, I said, have you looked at him? Now, mind you, the only reason I really know him, I saw him last season on SNL and he killed it. Right, he hosted SNL last year and he did a terrific job, and that's when I became a fan of him. I was like, all right, bro, I'm gonna rock with you, bro. I'm gonna rock with you. You know what I'm saying? So, but what was your question? I'm sorry for cutting you off. Now, what was your question?
So, just like on the outside looking in, like it seems like a historical drama piece. I forgot the exact way how they put it.
A period piece.
Period piece. Thank you. Period piece. So you've noticed that there's a lot of minority actors, and you would just think like, usually the blueprint within Hollywood, we got to be so accurate with how everything's portrayed in a period set. Like we can't even hire any minority actors. We got to have everybody white. So I wasn't sure with that just outside observation, are the minority characters just actors playing characters? And it's just nothing to do with like skin color, or is race a theme within the show that's a major, like, I guess, theme, if you will?
So this is as far as asking her from what I've observed is this. Now, race is kind of like Hamilton in a one way. All right. So like, for instance, the queen is a fair-skinned black woman. I don't know if she is biracial or not. You know what I'm saying? And I guess she was the queen last year, but I didn't really watch last season because I watched. I'm like, is she black? I'm like, yeah, that's a sister or whatever, right? But for instance, so I believe it. Also, I don't think race matters here, right? But this right here now, these two young ladies are from. They of course are of Indian descent. They're from India, like so. They're actually they acknowledge basically
these two ladies, right?
Yeah, they're from Bombay or whatever. So they're actually playing their actual ethnicity on here, but some people don't play their ethnicity on here too. You know what I'm saying? If you kind of get what I'm saying. But what you don't have anybody so far when I'm watching it, no one's like, oh yeah, you can't be with her because she's this. Like that's not a part of it. It's, now class and standing is something on the show though. You know what I'm saying?
Which would make sense. Like as a period piece, that is the main thing, like class structure, and it's always centered around like the elite rich and then all the subservient whatever, whether you're subservient of like royalty down the line or all the way down to the lower class.
And one of the dope parts is they play modern songs or hits.
Ooh,
from
that's right. I think I saw some of this.
So I'm laying in the bed and I'm listening to it, and it's like, now it's they're using instruments from that time. So it's you know what I'm saying. So it's you hear that instrumentation, but I'm start singing. I'm like, wait, no, actually, I don't know if it was. Now I think it was Material Girl, Madonna's Material Girl that was playing. I was like, wait, and I start singing. So
is this kind of like Westworld when they would do that?
Yeah, it's kind of like Westworld when they would. So it's classic. It's classical from the instrumentation, but it's the songs the hits from our time frame. Basically.
Oh, I like that.
So yeah, it still has like those stupid parts that you kind of have to have in the show where it's like that doesn't make any sense, right? You know what I'm saying? But it's pretty good. I have to say it's pretty good, and I like how because the young lady got married to Reggae John last year, this story is pivoted and it's on her brother. And he's the main character. And I didn't watch again last season. I will go back and watch last season. But I think initially he may not be been with her getting with Reggae John, but it's also her older brother because their father died. And they show us this year. I'm not going to ruin it. How he died, but also how it impacted the family. But he had to become the Lord. He had to become the I think he's the Vice Count. I believe is what he's called. You know what I'm saying? So he's the vice count.
Essentially Lord of the Manor, right?
Yes. And like at one point, like his mother was pregnant when his father died, and she was going to have a breech baby. And the doctor asked, the mother's like, ask me. And everyone had to remind him, like, you're the Lord. You're the Lord of the house. It's your decision if your mother dies or the baby dies, right? And he's basically, I'll give you this part. He's like, let her decide, and he leaves, right? Because she's like, how dare you? And a mother's snapping, right?
No, I saw that one. That's where he says, we will split the baby in half.
Exactly. So anyway, give it a try. If you want to do something different, if that's not up your alley. I have to say that I've enjoyed it so far, and I'm definitely going to probably end up finishing this season out. So if you want to try it out, man, give it a try.
Interesting. You definitely got me intrigued by this show, and I was not intrigued by it whatsoever before.
Well, listen, now, while you're out there courting, Ryan, you can put this on. Like, see, like I wonder how, like, first of all, if I was dating now, and I had to do this back in the days, I would have to really watch out. But I mean, I guess if I was dating now, I wouldn't be dating young people for the most part, right? But like, I have to watch out getting set up. Right, because the setup game is so strong, but I guess I wouldn't be. I wouldn't think I'm dating someone who would do that, quote unquote. But I'm sure there's a lot of guys out there that got set up. It's like, man, she was a good girl, right? Like, you know, whatever, right? Or use the old saying, she looked clean. Youth. So, but if I would say though, like this would be a nice dating tool for you if I was you, right? Like one thing that I used, like when I was in high school, like one thing that I found out, and I kept on deck after I found out, girls love Super Mario, right? So you know, like you had like Super Mario. I don't know if it was 4 or which one had all the games in it, right? So on my Super Nintendo, dude, I would just put that on. I would just let them. Girls love the girls from the time frame when we grew up. That was the game, the Nintendo, because it came with it. So everyone has Super Mario. So now it's 10 years later. I'm gonna put on that Super Mario. I didn't have to be like that.
You know, you're totally right though. Throw on the Mario Kart. I've noticed that is the trend.
Totally. Mario Kart 2. But yeah, so that's again. I think if you're dating, this may be something that you both can enjoy as you do your Netflix.
But skip season 1, right? Because dude is going to make us look bad.
I mean, listen. Do you burn for? You burn for somebody.
You might be burning for the man on the TV instead of me at that point.
See, this is a secret. Let me tell you a secret I learned in 4th grade. It hit me, right? It was this group. Did you ever watch different? No, you probably still wouldn't know. It was this group called The Boys, right? One of the boys was an actor named Taj, I believe. He would be on Different Strokes and other shows, but he never had like his own show. Anyway, The Boys were the first boy group in my childhood the girls fell in love with, like the class. Like half the class went to the concert or whatever, right? So I was jealous as a kid, right? I was like, I remember like, man, I can't stand the fact that these girls like all they're talking about is The Boys. Man, and it hit me one day. I said, wait, they ain't never gonna meet them. And that's all I pass on to you. I had a moment of clarity as a child. I said, I'm mad. You never meeting these dudes? What the hell am I mad about?
You just set it up. That's Ryan Luck right there. I can already see it. We're in the future. Wifey is here. We've watched Bridgerton, got her through. Reggae John walking through, and just see you later.
Reggae John, no, I'll be honest with you. Reggae John come for your girl. You got to say, man, I like the fact that you like my taste, and let it go. Baby, hey, man, take care of him. Take care of him, bro. All right? I understand.
I was at Bridgerton, and I guess you will too.
No, I would never watch that show again. I would never, ever Bridgerton. All right?
Stupid ass period piece. Fuck that.
Fuck the label, all right? Like,
that stupid Material Girl song, fuck that. I don't want to hear that classical ever again.
All of that shit, all right? Don't ever bring that shit up. When that shit comes on TV, I'm turning it off. Like, oh, listen, I understand, but I don't have to like it. I'm saying I understand it, all right? those the 2 things don't necessarily have to be mutually exclusive. Oh, man.
There's a lot of emotions in that one, I can tell you that. You got the waterworks, you got the anger, you got everything. It's like that Disney movie.
It's part of this. And for anybody to spend some time with us, I try to give a piece of myself in honesty. All right, because listen, it's an exchange. All right, that's the exchange here. All right, just because also it's good to be open about stuff. You know what I'm saying? As men, you know, we have all of these preconceived notions of what a man should be, and it's okay. It's okay to say at times I'm emotional. It's okay to say at times I'm bugging. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay if you have to be. One thing I always told my son, this is my little brother, and I tell my son now is don't lie to yourself, because that's dangerous. When you believe your lies it's a very dangerous pole you're sliding down. You know what I'm saying? A slippery slope is what I meant to say. It's an extremely slippery slope when you believe a lie. My older brother used to lie to me and want to fight me about his lies. I used to think it was the craziest shit ever. Right? Like, we both know you're lying. Why are you getting mad at me because you're lying? Are you for really think about what you're putting in? Like, we get on Kelsey about crying about nothing. And of course it's one because we don't want to hear the shit. But really, it's about, listen, when you crying can feel like you're getting something off your chest. But when you exhaust yourself from crying regularly, that's just not healthy. So
right.
We tell her, like, look, you can't, and also, girl, it's going to be hard. So you just can't be out here crying for the sake of crying, right? Like, just, you got to toughen up a little bit.
There's a time and a place for crying, just like anything else.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm not telling you don't cry, but it's not for everything. All right. Like, oh, my shoe fell off. Like, and also, like, you're 5. You're not 3. You're not 2. You're 5. All right. Get it together. But anyway, that's all.
You got me excited though to talk about that future topic that we'll have. Nick Cage movie.
Maybe too, this can be some of the stuff that we go over if Brian starts to get into some of the stuff So we can bring like, oh my god, like I've never been a dude like when D watches The Bachelor, it's like word, bro, right? And now I'm on here talking about Bridgerton. Okay,
Full circle, baby. Full circle.
full circle. So anyway, we always appreciate you spending a little time with us. We're going to continue to put out much more content. So please subscribe on YouTube and follow us on social media platforms. Follow us everywhere, basically, that you can find us. Also on SoundCloud, and we definitely appreciate the follow. And please don't do anything crazy before you hear from us again.